Good morning, Unity of Boulder. Those of you here in the sanctuary and those of us in the extended sanctuary online. There is just a great energy in this room this morning. Can you guys feel that? It just feels like there's like carbonation bubbles or something going on. This is a song called The Strength of Love. Welcome to the strength of the only thing that matters. be with you this morning.
Beautiful way to start, Marcy. Thank you. Amazing. Lift us right up into that beautiful space. Good morning, everyone. Okay, today I'm going to start with a bad joke. That way, everything after that will get better. So, there's these two brothers, and they play golf together, even though they despise each other. And while they were playing golf, the one brother gets to set up his ball, so he's going to hit it. And he says to the other brother, "Will you stop that incessant humming? You're driving me out of my mind." And the brother says, "That sounds less like a drive than a short putt." I feel sorry for you. You have to put up with this. Is there anybody here from another unity? Okay, is anybody here for the first time? Raise your hand if you are. We have a gift for you coming down. Keep your hand up, we have a gift. Okay. Today's service is going to be a little bit different. Today, Syntysche and I will have a dialogue about some questions that have come to us over the internet from people in the congregation who are interested in certain things about unity and healing and spiritual things. So just sit back and enjoy the service.
Good morning, everyone. I advised him strongly against that joke, but he did it anyways. There's no moving Jack. He's just going to do what Jack's going to do, and we just roll with it. But I want to say welcome to everyone. Welcome those who are here in person. Welcome to those who are here for the first time or people who haven't been here in a while and are coming back. It is fantastic to have you here. Welcome to everyone who's watching us online as well. We love spending every Sunday with you. It is our passion and our joy. Today I have the joy of welcoming Melinda onto the stage. She is the head of our YOU. That is our high school age students. And today, as far as Welcome Back Sunday, the reason we call it that, it's the day we're in the year where we restart our Sunday school, our unit teens, that's our middle school age students, and our YOU. We get that program kicked off, and Melinda's going to say a few things about that. Get it.
Hello, everybody. I just wanted to say welcome and also then pass the baton over to this one to
do what?
Invite.
Hi, guys. If there are any teenagers in here that are in 9th grade to senior year, 12th grade, or even middle schoolers, stand on up and come over to the front. We'd like to acknowledge you. Yes? My name is Indigo Jones. I am going to be a regional consultant of Unity officer. I thought it was a regional consultant. It's a regional officer, not a consultant. I'm not going to be a regional consultant. Sorry, I wish. Regional officer of a rally this summer. So, and I love doing Unity stuff. And I'd like to just acknowledge any teenagers in the audience right now. You could stand up. And we can head down to YU. Yeah. Yeah.
Come on down.
All right.
So our high school and middle school program is something where it's the start of building leaders. It's the start of these teens figuring out who they are, what they believe in, and this is a place where they can make lifelong friends and community. And so we love to welcome anybody new to come and join us. And I guess that's it. We're excited for this new year.
Thank you very much, Melinda. Thank you, Indigo. We got a few things coming up here at Unity of Boulder. Well, actually, first off, let's talk about today, which is Welcome Back Sunday. We've got a few things going on here today. We've got a potluck following this service over in Fellowship Hall. Even if you brought a dish to share, that's awesome. But even if you didn't, please come join us, get a bite to eat, and hang out with us. It's a hoot. We always have a great time and great discussions. And while we're over there, if anyone has their pet with them or nearby, you're welcome to bring your pet in. And Jack is going to be doing an animal blessing, where he just gives your dog a nice or a cat or fish, whatever, a nice blessing. That's free. You can just go right on over there, and Jack will take care of that during the meal. We have no snakes, no poisonous snakes. That's our one rule. That's the one animal you cannot bring. For those of you who came in the back door and have kids, out front we do have a jumpy castle for the kids. Please let them play on that as long as you want. We got it to have some fun, so enjoy it. We have some book groups starting up. We have both a men's and a women's book group starting up here. They're both going to start September 13th, and they run for 8 weeks on Tuesday evenings from 6 to 7:30. The women's book group is going to be run by Syntysche, and she's going to be doing the book Broken Open by Elizabeth Lesser. And the men's group is going to be run by Steve Hayes, which is Syntysche's assistant. He's going to be doing a book called To Be a Man. Both classes are 8 weeks and $85. You can buy the books in the bookstore. You can sign up for those here or online, or you can call us over the phone. But we do ask that you sign up as early as possible so we can gauge how many people are going to be there. We also have a limited amount of seats in those classes, so the sooner we get that signed up, the better we can prepare for it. So if you have any questions about that, just ask any one of us. And let's see, coming up here, Steve Hayes is also going to be restarting his Conscious Communications group on September 11th. It meets the first and the third Sundays. Actually, it's the second and fourth Sundays downstairs. It's a drop-in group. You don't have to sign up for it. It's a $10 suggested love offering, but that's just going to be ongoing starting September 11th. So come out and check that on out. And, last but not least, we have a concert coming up September 24th starring Alethea Rising. They've been on our stage many times before. That's Sierra Samuel and Dinah Snow. They're going to be over doing a concert in Fellowship Hall. It's a Saturday night at 7 p.m. You can get tickets in the bookstore. We ask to please buy tickets earlier than, we prefer if you bought them now instead of the night of. It really helps us out set up for everything. That's $12, and their music is absolutely haunting. You can bring your own refreshments, food, or drink. So please come on out for that and enjoy today's service.
Join us and just enjoy these words. They're healing, they guide you, they direct you.
Creator can move the mountains, bring good to all that we see, to all that we need, as close as every breath that's taken. We feel the light beaming through. It is guiding our way. Creator can move the mountains,
God for this beautiful day.
Thank you, God, for this beautiful day.
And turn to each other and say, thank you, God, for you.
Thank you, God, for you.
That was it.
Alrighty then, hello. Nice to have you all here. Oh my goodness. Welcome home to Unity. How many people are new here? I know he asked, but I didn't get to see. Do you have, everybody's from here? Oh, one. Well, welcome, thank you for being here. So we sent out an email asking people if they had any specific questions about Unity or about the climate of the world, or, you know, it's an interesting time out there, and I know that we're all energetically feeling it for sure. And so we're going to answer some of those questions, but I do want to invite you all to watch Jack's talk at the first service. It was amazing, and it really gets to the bottom of it. Really, if you wonder about the philosophy of unity, it really breaks it down to taking God out of the sky, right? We're taking God and our relationship to Christ, Jesus, as being something separate from ourselves. We know that Christ, and when we're referring to Jesus in the Bible, that it's referring to us, that we can put these teachings into life. We can use these tools and listen to what Jesus said, that said that we can work these miracles and more. So when we're facing a challenge like an illness or a marriage that's having a hard time, or children that are, you know, flailing in this changing climate that's very difficult, we can lean into this greater power. And we don't need to go to church, you know, every Sunday to lean into this something that's always available to us when we quiet ourselves and we get out of the pace of this world and we remember the divine nature that we were born with, that we can lean into that. And what's nice about a unity community is that you can share that with each other, though, too, because there is power in one and two coming together in prayer. And in unity, it's affirmative prayer. It's not prayer to change God, to change our circumstances. Affirmative prayer is affirming that it is already done and that we're in a state of gratitude before it's already done. Like it says in the Bible, I already know what you need before you've even asked. So should we go to the first question, or did you want to share anything from what I just said?
No, let's do the first question.
I think they need to turn the heat up here.
What?
It's hot up here. Okay. I was dancing, I guess, a little bit. All right, here's the first question. How can I find peace within when everything in my life, my career, my relationships, my health is running away from me at a speed I can't catch up? Well, I would start with the wording of this. Right out from peace within, it just goes on this runaway train. If we notice that, like, you know, they say what we say into the universe, what we think in the universe, we're recreating that. So when you can actually word that your life is running away from you, then you're affirming that. We're affirming that to the universe, and it'll keep running away from us, right? I also think that right now with, you know, everything that's going on in the world and all that we've been through with COVID and all of the changes, it's a time of things falling away that no longer serves us. I think you could speak to that. Like it's a time to come into our developed souls.
That peace that we are referring to is a mystical state of consciousness. We, having been born and raised in many of the limitations and the illusions of the world, we kind of acknowledge peace only when our personal desires, our expectations are being met by circumstances. And that's the way the world goes. And when they're not being met by circumstances, we don't have peace. We have concern, fear. We have anxiety. We have depression. But through spiritual practice, if you put spiritual practice to work in your everyday life, you can enter into a state of mystical peace where you are flowing with the conditions and circumstances as they are, and in that flowing comes a knowing, comes the still small voice of your divine nature or God that is always with you. You say Christ within. That is the foundation principle of unity. Christ in you is the hope of glory, which means learning to do spiritual practice means when conditions and circumstances in life rise and confront you, concern you, then you, instead of reacting to them, you pause. You allow yourself to be still, and you allow that divine part of you to speak within, and it will guide you. Sometimes it'll just guide you to be still and know this is passing. This is passing away already. It may guide you to take an action of some kind. It may actually say something to you like, you need to drink a little more water. What you're doing with your life is not the way you want to make your body feel. You want your body to feel in harmony. So start drinking a little more water every day and you'll feel a lot better. It can tell you anything, but it can't tell you anything unless you pause and be still, because our thinking has been programmed by an illusion-driven world, a world whose foundation is separation, defining ourselves as a separate physical body in a world of separate phenomena. That is not the case. God is omnipresent, everywhere present, in every moment. If you don't enter into that state of peace, it's because you're still not there, present enough to listen, humble enough to be still, quiet enough to allow the voice of God to be heard.
I remember there was a phase in my life where I had 2 small children and a teenager at the time, and there was so many transitions happening, and I was going to school, to ministerial school and working here full time, and I felt like that I was chasing to keep up with the babies, keeping up with the mental needs of my teenager, to keep up with a marriage that was failing. I mean, it was just like, it felt like a runaway train, and I would have these visualizations that would just come to me as I was driving to Boulder from Longmont, and I would just see all my children in the back seat, and it was like the sunset was behind us, and I was just leaving everything. I was just done. I'd hit my limit, like I couldn't, but I just had the most important thing that was in the car, were those children and me getting out of here. But the visual worked. It was like, I don't have to keep up with all this. I can't fix it all. So sometimes when we're chasing something, sometimes it's okay just to stop and look where it all falls. Right? We're believing in the illusion that we have to keep up with something. That's something made up by us, that somehow we're going to win some award because we somehow just busied ourselves so much and we achieved all those things. And then in the end, what do we have? Right? It's in the stillness that Spirit speaks. And are we enjoying chasing all these things, keeping up with the emails, with our texts, with all these ways people can access us? Or can we just let go that maybe that's not where we give ourselves the approval of success? I think the success is being truly happy and peaceful. And if something is in your life that is not allowing that, then we have to look at that. Right? So this is, a time in Ecclesiastes it says, for everything there's a season, a time for every activity under heaven. And a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to harvest. There's a time to be born and there's a time to die, means to let go of the things that no longer serve us in our development. We know it's time to go to this next threshold. We've been working on going from 3D consciousness to 5D consciousness, which is more intuitive, more aware, more connected without words to one another, and working in this way that we're flowing with the beauty of life instead of pushing up against a life that no longer serves us. So sometimes it feels like a death. Sometimes it feels like everything's running away, but maybe that's all in divine order for this next birth, right? The birth of the new earth within us. All right, so do you want to go on the next question? It's an interesting one. I think this is the next question. Let's see. Has anybody ever wondered that? You have? All right, well. Does anybody know the names of the founders of Unity? Myrtle and who? The Fillmores, Charles and Myrtle Fillmore. Okay, and I think that when we've taught about their work, that Charles was a person that studied all of the many religions. I think you could actually explain Charles more than I could do Myrtle, probably.
Okay.
He's the masculine and the feminine. They really are the yin and yang as far as, but in the end, they're just truth students. They were inspiring us all to be students of God, really, Spirit.
Charles became interested in spiritual things when his wife Myrtle, who was given a sentence of death in 6 months if she didn't do something or get some kind of treatment, and she actually healed herself over a period of time, and it was so miraculous to Charles that he decided he wanted to study all the major religions of the world and find out where they agreed and not where they disagreed. And so that's what he did. And out of that came unity, the idea of unity. There is at the heart of every major religion the truth, and the truth is that we are all divinely created and that we are all interconnected with this intelligence which gives us life. And if we align ourselves with that more than we align ourselves with the illusionary, grasping, limited, egocentric idea, if we just release that somewhat and allow our awareness to expand into the recognition that in every person, in every place, in every condition, there is only God waiting for you to awaken and bestow peace, forgiveness, and love.
And he chose the Bible as the predominant book that we studied because it was the most read book in the Western Hemisphere. So it really, I mean, people say, are we Christian? We study the teachings of Jesus as he said them, that we could take these works and do them abundantly, right? So that was Charles' journey, and what happened is they wanted to start a school. They wanted to teach people how to apply the Bible in their life metaphysically. So Charles wrote the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary, which is this thick. It's as thick as a Bible, and you can look up every single word in the Bible and read it so you can interpret what the sayings are meaning, right? So I'm going to give you an example of it. So in John 12:31, it says, 31 through 32, now is the judgment of this world. Now shall the ruler of this world be cast out, and I, when I am lifted up from the earth, will draw all people to myself. I'll read this again. Now is the judgment of this world. Now shall the ruler of this world be cast out, and I, when I am lifted up from the earth, will draw all people to myself. So we look and we look metaphysically, what does the earth represent? Okay, and in the Metaphysical Bible it says, the earth represents the consciousness of the physical body. It's the physicality of looking to the rulers of the world as something outside of ourselves. And when we lift ourselves, I am lifted up from the earth into spiritual consciousness, into spiritual, looking from the ego point of view, from a bigger state of looking, that is where the people will be lifted up, and we will become as the I am, which is the greatest word for God. When we get out of the physical looking at life and thinking that's the mirror of what's going on, it's actually a spiritual lifting into a greater understanding. Then we will be lifted up, and then the rulers of the world will be cast out. The things that are filled with deceit and the things that are coming out that we're seeing in this world right now, they disappear because we don't look upon them. We don't give them energy. We look upon ourselves to get into this light nature, into the spiritual nature, to bring about the vibration that's going to change this world. That's the second coming that the Christians are talking about. We are the second coming. And it's a consciousness. But as far as the cult goes, have we ever used Charles and Myrtle Fillmore and said, let's pray to them? Do we see them as some sort of God that's separate from us? Because that's what a cult is. It's one human being that's saying, I have a direct connection. I am God. I'm the direct connection, so come pray on me. Pray to me. Unity is a pathway that we find spiritual truths within our own experience. It's the process of the generation. We're born with generation. Generation means we have everything we need to know when we're born. The degeneration is the fall of the ego and the things of the world that we started to believe is what made us whole and in a good place. The regeneration is the rebirth. It's the phoenix process that we all go through, and that's when we become the light, the Christ light, the I am, that can manifest everything that we are desiring in our lives, right? So, no, unity isn't a cult. You could try to turn it and twist it no matter what you wanted, but you just can't, because Charles and Myrtle were just like us, students of this truth. And we are just students of this truth. We never say we're sitting up here better or different than you. We're reminding you of what is in ourselves and in you, right? We're on this together. We're a community. I really wish we'd take the stage out. We could sit with you, honestly. I know you like the stage, so we'll keep it for you.
Yeah. Actually, I would prefer a tower. I want to do what the Pope does, walk out on the balcony and speak to everybody.
Get you a glass car. We can drive you around in Boulder.
Yeah, the glass car, I'll do it.
Yeah. All right. Let's see what the next question is. Here we go. We accept that life is a school, but what lessons are we supposed to be learning from the COVID pandemic, the illegal war in Ukraine, and the lies and deceit of our many representatives? I don't know. You want to take this one? Yeah, I think so. I think we did, really. I think we covered this one. I don't want to go political, so if you want to do that, you can do it at first service next week.
Okay.
I'm worried about you. I don't trust you right now.
You don't trust me? Okay. I can't malign some political party. I'm not allowed to?
No.
Okay. Actually, what this whole concept is about, life, in fact, is a school. But if we're awake while we're living and not just going through the same actions and reactions that we're used to going through to be okay with society, if we're actually awake in living and checking out what we are experiencing when we are making certain decisions, it will wake you up that when you are making negative decisions, you are going to be feeling limited negative emotions. That's simply the way it is. I'll give you an example as quickly as I possibly can. Two young ladies go to a party. They're both college students. They're both dressed beautifully, etc. They go to this party. They're going to eat the same hors d'oeuvres and listen to the same band and meet mostly the same people that they see going to school with. One of them can be in an absolutely great mood, and the other one can be in the dumps. And what would be the difference between them? Perhaps the one girl just broke off with her boyfriend, or perhaps she just failed a very important exam, and that's on her mind. So she's not going to be there enjoying the music, the food, and the people as the other girl is. But what does that tell us about the mind. Where your mind is where you will experience life. And there are no two people sitting here or anywhere living in exactly the same world, because we live in the world of our beliefs. And if you don't like the world you're living in, or if there's really continual and repetitive, limited conditions showing up in your world, it is incumbent upon you to do spiritual practice and change your mind. Change your mind.
Right, and and some people are born with a more optimistic personality, and some people have more of a pessimistic point of view, and it tends to come from the parents that raised us. We learned how to, navigate life, and we can change that, though. We can change anything that was in our development from the parents. It's a choice. Do I want to look through a lens that's half full and look at the beauty of nature and look at the birds that fly by, to listen to the beautiful things your kids say to you, to enjoy life regardless of all the darkness that's going in this world? I mean, we can absolutely all sign up and get really sad and discouraged of the state of this world right now. But then we're adding unto that darkness into this world when we can keep ourselves lifted. I always think of how I look at my dog. I always over-exaggerate my smiles at him because I just wanted to understand how much I love him. I could just eat him because there's just so much love for him, right? But I don't do that with my kids. With the kids, there's always something we're working through. We're always, but that little furry face is just God, you're so perfect, and I just want you to know that. Right? Looking at those things that make you just so beautiful, so squishy and kind, and how can we bring that to everything? Looking at your spouse, looking at your kids, looking at your boss and seeing them differently in your mind's eye, and seeing that their behavior changes around us when we start to see them as kind when we didn't really think that they are. It's fun to play with how powerful we truly are, what we harbor in our mindset. And a big part of it is regrowing our subconscious mind, what we're planting in it. So a big part also is rebuilding the subconscious mind. What are you watching before you go to bed? Are you reading? Read 10 pages of a spiritual book before you go to bed. That will change your life. If you have, or just a journal that you just write what you're grateful for that day, that will change your life. And then you wake up, and you do not let yourself go, I don't feel like going to, You wake up and go, yes, I can't wait to see the good that this day is going to bring me. Coming from this, the glass is always half full. Affirming your good rebuilds the subconscious mind, and a joyful, powerful presence comes over you, and you know that joy is attractive. So if you're looking for a spouse, joy is really good. Nobody really wants a negative ninny, right? That's a deter. You also don't get jobs. Right. Negativity doesn't attract the jobs. But joy, you can have all the degrees in the world with a resume, but I'll hire the person that's got joy over the resume, right? You really get that. So in the end, it's that disposition can change everything. It's choosing to build the default of joy in your being, the childlike wonder. Be the person your animal sees you as.
We should inform the congregation, though, that if someone here does find a spouse in unity, there is a dowry that comes to the church. It's $5,000 if you find the guy of your dreams here, or the girl of your dreams. Okay, it's worth it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. And we do have a pet blessing today, so if you did want to bring your animals back, we're going to do the blessing around 1 o'clock so that you have time to grab your animals, and Jack and I will be performing those as part of the entertainment for the potluck today. I think my dog will be getting blessed for the 4th time.
The 4th time.
I mean, you can't get enough blessings, right? All right, let's do one more question. We have to make it quick, so I would like to take us into a meditation before we close the service. What's the next question? Well, I think we've covered that completely. Is there really such a thing as spiritual healing? Does it matter if someone believes in God if they are a good person that through action shows the difference between right and wrong, is empathetic, is a protector of the planet, and cares for people and animals alike? And I think this is an interesting question because when I read it, I thought of these parents of a friend of mine in middle school, and they were professed atheists, and they liked to say that they were, and I always had a picture of what an atheist was, and they were the most environmental, kind, cleaned up after everything. They were the most conscious people, and I was just really like blown away by it because they were better than most people that went to our center, you know? So I was like, maybe is the God thing, like what is the God thing? Because if you just have this consciousness just to be great in this world. But when I was contemplating it this weekend, you know, they did idolize the body though. Like they wanted to keep that body so healthy because they thought that was limited. Like that was the limitation, that we just had this one lifetime, and there was fear in it. And I could feel that about it. And I think that's one thing God gives us when we really, really educate ourselves on the part of us that never dies, the soul, the spirit that we came in with and has had many lifetimes. We don't have to look upon it anymore. We don't have to, I mean, we should be eating healthy and we want to live as long as we can, but we're not like, oh my gosh, this is the only time, so we have to shove it all in right now. We can be in the presence and we can be at peace and we can be in the moment because we got so many times to do this, and it's this beautiful thing. I also think if you don't believe in God, you know, Wayne Dyer always said, if you don't believe it, you won't see it. You won't see those miracles because you don't believe it, right? So, and we always think the opposite. If you don't see it, what is it? If I don't see it, I won't. Seeing is believing, right? So it's that believing. It's that faith that something greater is at hand. Like when that hawk swoops by, right at some particular thing that you say, and you're like, what did that mean? And you immediately look up the animal totem, and it's like, whoa! It's like a download. Spirit is always talking to me. Spirit's always communicating with me. When you live in this miracle existence, it's so exciting. You know, it's just so cosmic and constant. How sad is it if we went through our whole life not realizing that everything is talking to us? Everything's communicating with us. We don't know how to do something in any given minute, and it will be answered unto us once we put it out to the universe, because the universe already knows what we need before we've even asked. It's so cool. It's really, really cool. And I was raised by parents that lived that. And when, like little last story, when we were kids, we lived about 5 blocks down from this property right here, and we had a little church on Pearl Street that held like 25 people, 15?
No, it held 50 people.
15 or 50?
50.
50 people, the little chapel on Pearl Street. Then we had a church, there was a Nazarene church after that on 16th and Spruce, which is now, what is it now? It's the big radio station. E-Town. E-Town's in our building, our last one. But when we were little, we'd drive by this property, and it was a fish farm. And my dad would always say, that is a perfect spot for a church. Like he always visualized this place was going to be where we built the church. You know, we were, you know, always rebuilding these buildings and things like that. And when it came time to build a church, we actually bought a property out on Violet Street, and everything that we did about building that place fell apart. Nothing would ever work. The tractors never worked. Somebody broke all the windows when they were put into it. It was like nothing would ever work on this property where we were. And Jack said to Carlo, who was on the board of directors at the time, and he was a realtor here, he said, go look and find out about that property down on Folsom and Valmont. And when he looked into it, the property, all these acres, was $300,000. But he manifested it since we were little kids.
They weren't asking $300,000 at first.
Oh.
I went to a couple.
Oh, and the other thing was, the only thing that could be built here was a church. That's what they had drawn out for the city plans. This had to be a church, and there was no for sale sign. I mean, come on. I mean, when you really get what you're putting out there, you will check. Sometimes it's not like, that was years. It took a very long time, and we raised the money all those years. But it is a miracle existence, and it really will be when you believe that it is. Regardless of looking at the world. Quit looking at the world to decide whether life is good or bad. Because it can talk you into being bad, or you can choose to make it good. All right, so let's just put some music on, and I thought we'd go into a little meditation.
Okay.
Thank you, Jack. Do you want to just stay here and meditate with me?
I'll stay,
Okay.
if it's any good.
We like to razz each other. Nothing will top your first service. It was a winter chicken dinner for sure.
Go check out my first service if you want to know the truth that you will not be able to turn away from. Check out my first service. And after that, keep in mind that my memoirs are coming out, which holds the secret to personal transformation into the enlightened life. The name of those memoirs is Escape to Another Reality. Keep that in mind. You're going to be hearing about that book in the next couple of weeks. It's going to be out in a couple of weeks. Be open to it. It will transform you.
All right, so I'm going to ask you to put your feet flat on the ground if your legs are crossed, and it's always important to do that so we can root ourselves and get connected to Mother Earth and let her bless us right now. And let's just take a deep breath in through our nose. And now with that, and we're going to do that 2 more times. Breathing is life. Breathing realigns us to the pace of a healthy life. Breathing aligns us with the heartbeat of the Mother Earth. I want you to visualize your head and find where the subconscious sits in your brain, which is it's right here. And put your hand there. And think about the couple things that have probably been stimulated by the conversation in this service today. The things that pointed out to you that you're not living a miracle existence. And how could you change the words that you're saying about those situations, the vibrational feeling that you're holding about those situations, and what you're seeing the outcome as in your mind's eye? I want you to now create a new feeling, word, and visualization to now replace that which has been driving this area of your life from your subconscious mind. And you can put your hands back in your lap, and I'm going to let you just sit with your breath and work with the words you've been using around this topic. How could you change the language where you affirm healing, affirm overcoming, affirm best outcomes? And what would that look like? How would that play out visually in your mind's eye? Let's see it coming, seeing it resolved to the best outcomes. And knowing that when we put it in God's hands, into the Christ consciousness, we may not be able to visualize how good it could be. Let Spirit take the power, that enlivening energy that's within you, that can make manifest healed outcomes. And what would that feel like? To have it already healed, completed, and done. Take a deep breath into this one. And find that feeling of it being healed in your being. Because, and I want you to repeat these words after me, because I am worthy. Because I am a perfect child of God. Because I am a perfect child of God. Because I am holy. And I am free. I am whole. And I am healed. And we give thanks, Spirit, ahead of time, that you take and clear and create perfect outcomes of these situations. And we're so grateful. Amen.
We'll take an offering for unity now. Those of you that are watching this live stream, you can tithe in any way that you see up here on the screen. But I invite you all to next Sunday join us here in this building, because the energy here is so phenomenal, and people leave here feeling lifted and in some cases healed. So you're missing a little bit of the energy when you're just watching it on live stream. And so please show up next Sunday, and I invite all of you to come back next Sunday. So we will do a follow-up. I will do a follow-up on the talk that you should be listening to and watching on YouTube this week on how the demonstration actually works. And then we will do the same type of ideal and demonstration at the second service. So, as we bring to mind that financial gift we'd like to make to Unity of Boulder, let's bless it with this offering prayer. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, because I give. And so it is. We have Marcy to share that incredible voice with us. Again, you don't know what you're getting here. You're getting the whole thing. Man, you are amazing. And they'll be watching you on television and in movies before long. So enjoy this magic.
Thank you, Jack. Thank you so much. I just love that talk, just the questions and change your mind, and I am being the greatest, name of God, and it's such a privilege to be here. You know what? This song deserves to be started off in the right key. Let's do that again. What's my key? La, there it is. 2, 3. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. You will do amazing things with with the choice each new day brings, and with every step you take, bless the progress that you make. The reason you live is right here in every gift you give. Love your life, love your dreams, you will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. Oh, the places you will go and the people you will know. Don't worry when or where or how. You don't need to know that now. You're on the right track. No need to look ahead or back. Just enjoy what this day brings, for we will do amazing things. You don't have to work it out. Just stay in the here and now. Let your mind rest for a little while. Sometimes deepest answers come when we're out there having fun. So close your eyes and take a breath and smile. Christ is our hope of glory. We have nothing to lose. It's all right here. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. Yes, I will. Amazing, amazing, I will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing, we will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing, we will do amazing things. One more time. Amazing, amazing, we will do
Thank you. So we have our pet blessing today. You can sign up for it in the bookstore and go grab your pet.
We'll do snakes, but no
I'll
poisonous
do snakes if it's in like a container.
Huh?
I mean, if it's like you don't have to touch it, I'll do it.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I might
so,
do those at a distance.
So we have prayer partners available to you if you're facing a challenge today or you just like to share a joy. You just stay seated in your seat and our prayer partner will come and find you and take you to our meditation room and pray with you. Right after the service, about 10 minutes after, we're going to have our potluck. And you don't need to bring a dish to share. We have plenty of food if you didn't already bring something in. We just want you to join the community, enjoy this time. We need community more than we've ever needed community before.
All right?
Do you have anything else?
We are on the crux of defeating COVID, eliminating it. with our consciousness. We are doing that. Okay.
Yes. All right, we're going to close with the song that we opened with. Here we go.
Yeah. Where's our girls?
Appreciate you. We'll see you and we'll eat together in a little bit.